you're figuring things out, you're investing, you're going about, and intentionality is a huge point too that I don't think a lot of agents are aware of. Intentionality, like you should have intentionality every single day about what it is you want to accomplish. But to your point, when we first started, if you don't have a why, or if you don't know why it is that you want to do, it's hard to be intentional about it.
Yeah, it's hard to be intentional. It's just hard to battle through adversity.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, because, it's easier to quit
Yeah.
if, you don't really not only have, but you're obsessed with what you're trying to accomplish. When you get hit in the mouth or you get faced with adversity or something happens, you lose a client that you knew you should have had, or you lose a deal that you knew you should have had, how do you battle through that adversity? How do you get past it? And it's really, okay, that's tough. I don't like it, but I know what I'm trying to accomplish big picture. So this is a speed bump. It's not a wall. Right. It's a speed bump with it. And I think so many people quit at that moment. Everybody wants to be successful, right? You do, I do. All of our agents want to be successful, but do they have to be successful? And I think that's a point that, I don't think we talk about enough.
No, for sure. And like Mike Tyson said, you don't really know who you are to get punched in the face, right? And see how you react, because everybody experiences adversity and failure and everything else. So how do you keep, or how did you build such a strong, ironclad mindset to help you overcome everything that you have so far?
I think, a lot of it's through failure. I mean, it just is. And, Michael Jordan, he's got that famous quote, and it goes something like, I succeed because I fail. And he talks about how many game-winning shots he missed. Yeah. And it's because he's not afraid to take that shot. Well, I'm no Michael Jordan, no question. But I think you build that through failure. I think you build it through repetition. I think in that failure does two things. We always hear that that's where our greatest growth comes from. And I believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe that, knock down 7, get up 8, right?
Yep.
But I think the other thing that happens in failure, in addition to the growth, is you don't ever want to go there again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so you remember that and you realize that, and you don't want to make that mistake again. And so for me, a lot of it was failure. It was picking myself up, getting back in the game, and we had failure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if we had over the years, let's say 16 to 17 mergers, acquisitions that were all part of our growth, I bet you we had 16 to 17 that coulda, woulda, shouldas.
Yeah. Yeah.
More than everybody on this call realizes.
Yep.
And so, but learning from it, picking yourself up, getting back in the game, realizing that, hey, everybody goes through adversity. This is just part of the process.
So what advice or what would you say to an agent or anyone else out there that is afraid to embark on new things because of the fear of failure, meaning they don't want to do it because they're afraid they're going to fail?
I think number one, get over it.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Get over it. You're not, we're not that important.
Yeah.
Well, whether it be, posting video.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Or, making calls, trying new scripts. I mean, is number one, just realize we're not that important. I mean, we think, oh my gosh, if I post this video, there's going to be, 4.2 million followers, and we're not that important.
Yeah.
And so, one is just realize that, just do it, and then, it gets easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I really believe that. I believe that, every time you push through something like that, it gets a little bit easier. You make it a little bit more your own. You tweak it, and so on and so forth. So I just, the other adage that I would just give people is, what's the worst thing that can happen? You make a call, and let's even say the FSBO, crow hops and power slams the phone. So what?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's on them. I mean, they're not going to get your level of service. They're not going to get your professionalism. Move on to the next one.
100%. I agree totally.